I'm County for Bass Space in collaboration with the CAMBROTHERS, and I'm here joined today by Aaron and Sedric of FHAT.
Hey.
Thanks for joining me. So let's get started. Before we get to the music, I have a question about your journey, or at least your geographical one. You were in Philly to New York to LA to London to Berlin. What brought you to Berlin, and where did you two meet on this journey?
Oh my gosh. So we met in Los Angeles and we were friends for like a couple months, like drinking, partying, hanging with other musicians and creatives. And then we went to Vegas together for his birthday.
Oh, that was cute. Turn up.
And it was really cute. And then I was working with some producers from Dusseldorf, and they asked me to come to Berlin for a couple months and like write with them. So I did. I didn't know anything about Berlin, like the skyline, nothing. I was just like, what, Berlin, what? But I am half German, so like I have a German passport, and my mom's from in the near of Cologne. So I came over for a few months. He went to London for a few months, then he came back and forth, and the rest is history. Here we are 4 years later.
4 years?
October is 4 years, but I'm rounding up.
Wow. Do you feel inspired by Berlin?
In a way. Creatively, it's been really, really amazing. We've gotten to work with so many amazing musicians, photographers, videographers, and I feel like we've really gotten to create our own voice with the music, which has been really amazing. And I feel like in America, we were it was a bit more of a struggle.
Yeah, spinning our wheels. It's been a playground for us to explore different things, from dancing, creativity, to creating 2 crazy music videos that I never fathomed we would have the budget or people or team to create these videos. Every time I tried to make a video in America, it was like, whew, $2,000, and they like literally, it was the worst video ever.
3 months rent down the drain.
Ooh. So do you ever, listening to that, but do you ever feel stifled because this is such a like techno city? Is there space for you to create the music you want to make?
This is a really good question.
It has been difficult. I think, especially when I first got here, it feels a bit different now. It's more open. But when I first came here, it was really just like techno and pop. And when I came here and I was writing a bit and I was trying on different publishers to see who I wanted to work with, it was kind of like, hey, like write a Drake song or write a Frank Ocean song. And I'm like, I have my own voice. I'm gonna do me. And yeah, also just like in daily life, I just think overall, I don't know if people were used to seeing black people at all. So it was interesting.
So that Frank Ocean Drake was because you're black, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So they were trying to like put you in that box.
Yeah, just like this is what is popular right now. Here, what's going on in America. So like, can you just do that? Like none of that R&B stuff. Like.
And does that still happen, you feel like?
Not as much. I feel like now we've kind of like made our connections and made some friends and like work with who we like to work with. It's been really cool.
So how would you describe the sound of your music?
Ooh.
Bodacious.
Bodacious.
Okay.
Funky.
Queer. Well, that actually leads me to a question I have for you. So the way I was introduced to you is Packing. If you haven't heard the song somehow or seen the music video, you have to check it out now. Packing is incredible, nominated for Queer Teas. It was all over the blogs, but particularly queer blogs. So I wonder, do you feel like you make music for a queer audience? Do you ever feel like you envision when making this music, like it's going to be a queer audience, a particular someone who's listening to it?
I mean, we both come from very kind of, I would say, oppressed, growing up with like America, Pennsylvania, like our surroundings weren't the most queer, gay friendly. I'm speaking on my half, I feel like we've spoke about this before. So like, we just kind of, from the first song, Back to Life, we were like, okay, this is the story about like our friendship and how this is like, we always find solace in like hanging out and like whatever. So then it kind of started with that, and that was the thesis for the project. It was like the theme, the motif. It was like, this is gonna be fun, positive, but it's gonna be how we express ourselves on a normal basis. And it just was. Like every time it kind of goes against that, we're like, no, hold on. Like keeping all the stuff that doesn't go with the FHAT vibe of like always being positive. Try to keep that shit away.
I feel like we don't make music with the intention of being queer. Like you said, it's a bit like a conversation of our friendship. Just, it really feels like how we are. Like we also make music separately, but together there's just this kind of fun, free, lighthearted, like we just want to have a good time. Like we have so much history between the two of us. All we do is talk about like how blessed we are that we get to like wake up every day and make music. Like by the time we get to the studio, it's just like, let's just have fun.
Can you, so coming off of that, how much does identity inform the music you make, and can you separate your identity, your blackness, your queerness from the music?
Good question.
That's a really good question. It really depends, because we also have publishers, so we write a lot, and I feel like some days it's not so identity centered, it's just about the feeling. And other days, I do feel a bit like a responsibility to tell the story as like a Black queer person. I grew up in a really religious background. My father's not the biggest fan of like gay people, so I do feel like a responsibility to share my story with other people who might be going through the same thing and don't have the same freedoms that we do now.
What's been coming from that? What's it been like to be Black and queer in Berlin?
Buckle up.
In some ways, really liberating. Like I found a lot of freedom here, and there has been a sense of safety. But on the flip side, sometimes it can feel a bit ostracizing. And a lot of times in the neighborhood we live in, Berlin isn't as open as it, is proclaimed to be. Like we live in a very religious, more conservative neighborhood, and like we can be walking down the street and like a guy will literally be like, you know what, expletive, burned in hell, and it's like, ooh, girl, we still out here, girl. And then some days you get a look and you don't know if it's because you're gay or if it's because you're Black. So I'm just like, everybody leave me alone.
Yeah.
And in general, just being queer, openly queer, what's that been like in Berlin?
Pretty. I always say that all the guys, like I interact with like people that are like heterosexual and stuff a lot, because a lot of the producers tend to be straight. And they're always just so embracing and like more so than like the men I encountered in America. Because in America they're very like sporty, masculine, feminine, literally.
Apple pie and football.
Yeah. Sunday night, WWE.
Shotguns.
Oh my God.
That's a good point. Actually, like I will say, like the straight men we encounter here have a very soft and nurturing side. Like it seems like Europeans are just much more in touch with their softer side. And we flirt, but it's harmless. But in America, we would be like beat up.
Oof. Yeah. Well, speaking of America, I don't mean to re-traumatize anyone here, but I think it would be remiss not to mention that Black people are still asking not to be killed by the state. And I wonder like how that feels to be so far away from home when so much is going on, and carrying, having this Black queer identity and doing your thing here, but also recognizing that there's so much going on back home in America. What's that been like for you to just survive, thrive, make music?
In a lot of ways, some days I wake up feeling really, really guilty. And it's hard to not put that shame on yourself when you don't have, like for me, my family and my community is like everything to me, And I'm so happy we have each other and I have my friends. But when these things happen and I have these thoughts like, what if something happened to my mother, my brother, my cousin, anything, and I'm not there, you know what I mean? So it takes some getting used to, but today we were at the protests and seeing the solidarity across the world. It's not just a US problem, it's a world problem. And I think people are finally starting to catch on, It's a bit too late, but it's happening and I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, it's a conversation that has been going on for way too long, and hopefully we can get a change to actually happen at this point, because it seems like a lot of people are like standing up and using their voice, and this is just the beginning of this time, and I feel like it could be, I don't know, we'll see.
I hope. We all hope.
Child, I'm tired.
Right? And then also in terms of the pandemic that's going on, that's like another layer, added stress, anxiety. What's that been like for your creativity to create during this whole mess?
It's been up and down. It's an emotional roller coaster. I started out the quarantine like really focused. Like the first few days I was like writing all these little ideas for different people and different tracks that people sent me, some beats. And like, you know, it was going good. And then I was like nurturing each idea over the span of like a week. And I was like, great, these are like coming together. I was like, I'm at home, I need to work. And then it like spiraled out. And then it's been like up and down. One day I'm like, great, this is amazing. We're like finishing our EP, we're in the studio, we're getting things done, trying to plan these 2 video shoots next month. And then the next thing you know, we're just hanging on for dear life.
Literally hanging. I think as creatives, we put a lot of responsibility on like produce, create, and we live in a world now where it's like it has to be happening all the time. We're like, our favorite artists that we love would drop an album and disappear. You know what I mean? Like they would go live their life, write about it, and go back and live their life. But now it's like you have to produce so much.
Every month a song on Spotify, on the algorithms. And it's like so much pressure on
like, girl,
independent artists to like constantly be doing social media. Like we're not getting paid, and it takes up literally 8 hours a day to like
it's like emotionally draining. And I think we haven't even, for us, like we kind of joke around about the quarantine, but after like a month and a half, it was like, you know what? We need to respect that we are creative and human first. And, you know.
And if I'm gonna get drunk for 3 days, I'm gonna get drunk for 3 days.
That's what this is like I'm gonna do. You know?
That's what I'm gonna do.
There's like a collective trauma happening right now, and like we need to actually emotionally process that and stop trying to make ourselves a product. And like, you know.
If I wanna eat pasta 3 times a day, I'm gonna eat pasta 3 times a day. You know, just... There's a feeling of like acceptance I think everybody needed to find, and I've been talking to so many people and all their different journeys. Like everybody's found out their own kind of anecdotes or problems they were hanging on to. Or have you?
Me?
What have you been doing during the quarantine?
I mean, I've been going through the same thing. A lot of guilt for being far from my family.
Our families.
And then like having it easier. I go for jogs every day and I don't worry about the police shooting me, but then I have to think about my cousins who would. You know, there's been a lot of that and a lot of like, I need to create, but then stop and no, you need to sleep. It's collective trauma, going through the motions. But now I'm even more grateful. Thank you for joining us. I'm thinking like, you're taking the time out of your day to do this, so I'm super happy.
Thank you.
That means a lot to me.
We were a little nervous. We were like, we don't know what's gonna come out of these mouths, honey.
Yeah, it's been
like,
a long weekend.
Just gotta keep it real, you know?
Yeah. Well, I've heard a little bit of rumblings about the lead single for your forthcoming EP. Can you tell, I know you're working hard on that, so it's gonna be a banger, right? So.
Oh my God, this might be the most major song yet.
Oh. Hear that?
No pun intended.
Okay. Oh.
Zoom in, camera 1.
Zoom in.
No, honestly, this process has been really kind of up and down. Like it's moving slowly. I think normally we're kind of like, okay, we got this, we're doing this, we're gonna make this video, do that, and then the project's done and we like release a single. But now we're doing a body of work during quarantine, seeing each other every day and maintaining a friendship and a relationship. And I think just trying to find our groove and respect each other, you know, because at the end of the day, like we've committed to keeping this project about fun and not like, I'm really careful about like not making it, hey, we have a project to finish, let's do it, you know, like let's make it feel good after all this.
Do you have time to do, because you both have done your own individual songs and music, do you find time to do that as well? Or is it just FHAT and FHAT has to be the main focus right now?
A little bit of both. Like with our solo projects, we're always just really natural. Like we don't push. Like I put out a 3-song EP last year, and that was just. And I've been working on videos. Like when it comes, I'm not under the pressures of this posting on social media every day to get followers, and I'm just putting the music out and hoping people enjoy it. And then with the FHAT project, it has a lot of like, we've built something, and we're always getting contacted by like, we got contacted by so many like organizations that are like gay, LGBTQ, queer, pride editions of live streams that they would like us to do. So like, we're keeping busy, like photo shoots, videos.
So I guess that would say what we could expect next is like a lot of music videos.
2 music videos.
2 music videos.
And a teaser.
Maybe a third one.
Girl, we ain't got the budget.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be like refresh every 2 seconds.
Thank you.
Send me a text message because I didn't get the memo today about the black and white, so I hope I can get a message next. Oh, thank you. Like, let me know when the stuff comes out.
I'm living for this.
All right, here's my the BBC, No Dirty Minds, the BBC The Channel, used to ask this question. If you're on a deserted island, you get to bring 3 songs. Like, what are the 3 records you bring or songs?
Oh my God,
Like
I hate these kind of questions.
In the world, whatever you want that's ever been made. It can be classical, pop, what have you.
One of them would be Desiree, You Gotta Be.
You gotta be. Well, I don't want to sing on this.
Y'all know
I can't sing. I'm not the singer here, but
I just love that song.
it's classic. Great video too.
Oh, I'm still going. Okay. Nature Boy, Nat King Cole. Sade, By Your Side.
That's good.
I can listen to those 3 songs for the rest of my
I'm gonna
life.
steal that. Ooh.
Yes. I'm gonna do a Sade as well. Is It a Crime? I have her tattoo tomorrow.
Oh.
my girl.
Can we? Speaking of zoom in, can we zoom in on that?
Mother.
Love it. Wow.
She's my girl. Also fellow Capricorn.
Oh.
So I feel like
What's your
Are you
sign?
into, I'm a Sagittarius.
Ooh, we love to see it.
I need my adventure, you know?
It's a fun time.
so Sade, Is It a Crime?
She's ready for the X-rated version.
Apologies to all my exes who I've run out on.
We gotta be cheating.
Go on.
I'm sorry, what's your song, child?
I'm trying to think. So Sade, Is It a Crime is number 1.
Love.
Number 2 is He Loves Me, but the live version from the movement version. Jill
love that.
Scott.
Yeah, of
But the
course.
live one from like this, the one live album anyway. And the third song is the third song that I could listen to. Oh, there's just so many.
I feel bad now for asking this question.
You should have asked
love
us this
it.
before.
I
You should have
I
emailed me last night.
Oh, well, all right, my bad. I will.
No, because there's songs I'm always like, this is the one.
And we just love so much music.
All right.
I need a minute.
Don't worry about it. I'll get it. I get it after. I have no idea.
See?
I'm not being interviewed. I'm not being interviewed.
Lights.
Well, this has been really fun. I'm like super honored, and I'm really also grateful for the work that you do by putting the work out there. Make it so much easier for queer people to exist and thrive. So definitely thank you for that. I'm County with Base Space here with FHAT. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Ciao.
Thank you.